رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن دعا بدعوته واستنى بسنته إلى يوم الدين وسلم تسليما كثيرا. أما بعد فأوصيكم ونفسي بالتقوى الله عز وجل والسمع والطاعة. ويقول الحق سبحانه أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وكونوا مع الصادقين. All praises are due to Allah, Lord of the worlds, and surely the best reward ultimately is for those who have taqwa. Surely there is no animosity except for the oppressor. And I bear witness that Allah is one and has no partners, and that Muhammad, the son of Abdullah, is his servant, his last messenger. May Allah always, constantly send peace and blessings to Muhammad, to his family, to his companions, to all those who call to his way and establish his sunnah to the day of judgment. As to what follows, I begin by cautioning myself of the critical importance of taqwa, the critical importance of the consciousness of Allah, that we recognize the creator of the heavens and the earth in everything that we do, that we recognize that this last revelation, Al-Quran, that we are following was not revealed to just be read. It was not revealed to be put on a shelf, but it was revealed to give us guidance in all aspects of our life. And Allah Azza wa Jal, in a miraculous way, gives us inspiration. And as we go through the book of Allah, you will see verses pop up in front of you. Verses that are dealing with your reality right now on the ground. And Allah tells us in His glorious book, O you who believe, have the consciousness of Allah and be with the truthful. Kunu ma'as-sadiqeen. Be with those who are sadiq. And as-sidq is defined as as-sidq fil qawl wal-niyya wal-wafa'. It is that not only you should be truthful in what you say, but your intention should be true. And what you do with your intention should follow along with the truthfulness that you believe in. Today's world is the opposite. People are saying things, especially those in authority, governmental authority, are talking about democracy, freedom, and justice, and it does not equal what is happening in the reality that we see. To the point where an elected official, somebody who we trusted before the election, we're not sure about their statements. Major battles and wars can happen right in front of our eyes, and both sides are saying the same thing. And so in this age of deception, it is critical for us to be with those who are straightforward and who are speaking the truth. In the last few weeks, our eyes, our images, our economy has been bombarded with the pictures and the sad destruction of the country of Ukraine. And no doubt, the Ukrainian people, the children, the families do not deserve this. They do not deserve the destruction that is going on. And they are being used, as in other places, as a type of political ping pong. People's lives are being used. And what is so strange is the power that this media has over the minds of the world, those who are looking at it. The power that it has that makes us forget. It gives us what doctors call cognitive dissonance, where you can literally forget about something that is a reality right in front of you. And as the sad pictures show us refugees moving across the border in large numbers, it is described in apocalyptic terms as though it is the end times. But what is stranger than this, especially for Muslims, is that with all of the uproar about the sad situation in Ukraine, there is almost no discussion about Afghanistan. When was the last time that you heard in the mass media about the situation of the children in Afghanistan? Right now, thousands of people in Afghanistan are forced to flee just to get food. Thousands of people. 5 million children are facing starvation and death. 5 million children. But there's no mention. Another stark example in front of our eyes is the situation in Yemen. With all the fanfare that we hear about Europe, what is happening in Yemen? Did they disappear? Did suddenly everything come together? No. It is still one of the worst famines in the world. Over 20 million people are in need of aid. 20 million people. 16 million people are food insecure. Don't know where the next meal is going to come from. 16 million, not thousands. 4 million people have been displaced. 4 million people displaced. Not a mention in the media. And it continues. Why no mention? What is the difference between the people of Yemen or the people of Afghanistan and other regions, the people of Africa? What is the difference that is going on? What is the difference on the borders that we see happening? where one group of people is considered to be immigrants crossing Ukraine, and the others are considered to be the illegal people. One is a refugee and one is an illegal immigrant. What is the difference between the two? Allah told us, be with the truthful, not people who speak with forked tongues. As the First Nations people would say in this part of the world, when the European came, he spoke with forked tongues. Two tongues. It's not the same. So we ask ourselves, why are Muslims in Syria, the Rohingya Muslims, the Kashmiris, in Philistine, in East Africa? Why is this happening? Why is it being disregarded? We cannot forget who we are. We are representing the final revelation that is giving to humanity solutions to real problems. And quiet as it's kept, the economic situation is rising and rising and bubbling like a volcano about to explode. It is the interest-based system. It is the capitalistic system, the dog-eat-dog vulture system that has rendered the rich richer and the poor to be poor. But the Quran and the teachings of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ has a solution to this. It's not capitalism. It's not socialism. But it's a system that allows private property but does not allow monopoly. It's a system that teaches the people to give naturally without being forced to give. We should never forget about one of the great crises in the world that's not discussed, morality. The morality of this world. The pornography that is happening, destroying our younger generation. The destruction of the families. Gambling that is on the rise. The Islamic system has the solution. No gambling. The drugs, the alcohol consumption, Islamic lifestyle would be drug-free except for medicine. And so we can never forget who we are and what we represent, a system that respects children and respects the elder generation. A system that does not allow for racism to be the basis of how we function. Why is a person of European descent on the border of Ukraine allowed to come in and get complete citizenship? He's treated as though he's going on a vacation. From Africa or Asia or the Middle East is stopped at the border, humiliated. Why? Racism, a disease which is in the minds of people throughout the world. And now we find us with this crisis in the world, and Ramadan is appearing. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed the ummah with this month. Allah Azza wa Jal has caused Ramadan historically to be a time of activity for the Muslims. And this year is a unique year because we are coming out of lockdown. We are coming out, inshallah, of this pandemic. And as we come out, Ramadan, we are entering into Ramadan, and so we should not go back into lockdown in Ramadan. It should not be a time of sleep, but it should be a time of striving and struggling and trying to reach focused goals in our lives. Imam al-Shafi'i rahimahullah would call it fiqh al-waqi', fiqh al-awlawiyah. He called it that your understanding of things should be based on reality and not something mystical. You should have priorities in how you function in your life. And he used the example of the 5 pillars of Islam. And in this case, the great Khalifa Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anh, in looking at the 5 pillars of Islam that he had to establish as the Khalifa, he had to establish the Tawheed, the Salat. He had to establish the fasting, the Hajj. But he made the decision that because of the crisis of the famine, that we would focus on zakat. We would focus on kharaj, on giving. Giving would be the focus now. More focus on that than even going to Hajj. Because people are dying. And that is what we call fiqh al-waqi'. And Allah Azza wa Jal has told us in Surah Al-Ma'idah verse 35, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا اتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَابْتَغُوا إِلَيْهِ الْوَسِيلَةَ وَجَاهِدُوا فِي سَبِيلِهِ لَعَلَّكُمْ تُفْلِحُونَ. Allah has informed us, O you who believe, have the consciousness of Allah. Never forget the creator of the heavens and the earth. And seek a means of coming close to me, wasila. And strive in the path of Allah in order that you would be successful. And so Allah gives us this divine formula as we are coming out, that we should keep the consciousness of Allah and that we should take advantage of the month of Ramadan. Prepare before Ramadan comes in. Prepare for it. Prepare our minds, our homes, our bodies, so that we will be able to take advantage of this month in all different aspects that Ramadan can give. And this year, because nobody cares about us, the Muslim world will have to throw off the tyrants. The tyrants will have to come down. But we as individuals, we can do something with our wealth. This year, inshallah, we should break records in giving. Everybody, no matter how much wealth we have, should look at how we can give strategically to help the Muslims who are starving right now. Nobody cares about them. They're not in the media, but it's our responsibility. We are an ummah, and it is our responsibility. So this is our opportunity, gaining blessings at the same time, and keep our dua focused on saving the Muslims, bringing them out of this crisis. Focus on saving the children of this ummah. Focus a dua on protection of the women of the ummah. Focus this dua upon raising balanced leadership for the ummah. And focusing this dua to ask Allah to forgive us, for we know not what we have done. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين من كل ذنب استغفروا إنه هو غفور رحيم. الحمد لله الواحد الأحد الفرد الصمد الذي لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد وأصلي وأسلم على سيد الأولين والآخرين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وبعد فيا عباد الله اتقوا الله حيثما كنتم ويقول الحق سبحانه مخبرا وآمرا إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل وسلم على عبدك ورسولك محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين وارض الله عن الخلفاء الراشدين أبو بكر عمر عثمان وعلي وعنا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب ربنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وادخلنا الجنة مع الأبرار يا عزيز يا غفار يا رب العالمين. اللهم لا تدع لنا ذنبا إلا غفرته، ولا هما إلا فرجته، ولا دينا إلا قضيته، ولا مريدا إلا شفيته، ولا ميتا إلا رحمته، ولا حاجة من حوائج الدنيا إلا قضيتها يا أرحم الراحمين. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إنا كنا من الظالمين. عباد الله يرحمكم الله، إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. قوموا إلى صلاتكم يرحمكم الله.